Becoming a man of value is becoming competent and effective in the world. And to be this, you must have specific skills. You see, a man wants to believe that no matter what situation he's placed in, he can handle himself. To make this reality, a man must always try to figure out what abilities he needs to learn to act confidently in his masculine duties as a provider, protector, and procreator. For the primitive man, these required skill sets were straightforward and relatively small, since they were centered around the ability to fight and hunt. Today, however, the range of abilities required is much broader. The modern man must be a warrior as much as a scholar. Nowadays, men need hard and soft abilities, skills that we use every day, and skills that we hold in reserve if needed. Today, we will go over 8 skills a man must have in modern day. Number 1. The use of negotiation. Depending on where you are in the world, negotiation is either a normal part of life or a painful act that is intentionally avoided. But here is a reality that many men, especially those in the West, do not always take into account. Whether you know it or not, you can negotiate most of your commercial transactions, but still choose not to. The modern age has made men more inclined to agree than disagree. So the fighting for what is fair element is fading out of men's lives. They no longer care about what is fair and accept the price without reason, which allows them to be taken advantage of very quickly. However, knowing how to bargain with people allows you to redraw those boundaries. It can also save you a ton of money on everything, from a hotel room to a rental vehicle to tough business negotiations. It is all there. Sure, it may appear strange to you, but with time and experience, you will become more confident in the subtle art of negotiation. Number 2. Practice situational awareness. Every day, you may face a threat that can jeopardize your safety. An active shooter, a crazy stranger, or even a distracted driver. Often a man will only notice the threat once it's too late, because nowadays, men are so engrossed in their headspace, and they cannot fathom the danger and risk the world still has. So they operate in their minds, worried about what people think about them and how they should behave in public. They prioritize self-awareness over situational awareness. But remember, a key element of a man's purpose in this world is to protect. So, how can you protect yourself and your loved ones if you do not know what is around you? You simply cannot. Not only that, but you will also lose an essential element of your masculinity. Do not let that happen. It is commonly said in the tactical realm that the greatest way to win a battle is to avoid getting into one in the first place. So improve your situational awareness and win the battle. The skill of situational awareness is not just being aware of what is happening around you, but also having a strategy for what to do if anything goes wrong. Number 3. Make small talk. When you happen to see an acquaintance in a store, do you wish they do not notice you? Does the thought of walking into a party when you only know one person make you uncomfortable? Or you constantly try to work up the guts to approach the cute girl at the local coffee shop, but when you walk up to the counter, it does not go to plan. All boys can relate to the difficulty of small chat in some way. It is another way of placing yourself in an uncomfortable situation. However, a boy must transition into a man. One way of doing this is by developing your small talk skills. Ever wonder why old people can make conversation about anything anywhere? It is a skill that every man must learn. It might be uncomfortable, but it can be truly life-changing. You never know if the person you are standing across could end up being a good friend, a business partner, or even a wife. It might seem like an effort at first, but when it becomes natural, it remains a skill stored in your back pocket. Small talk is vital for men to build up their connections. Number 4. Firm handshake. A firm handshake from a man is vital to making a good first impression. A full grip handshake, delivered with exactly the proper amount of pressure and accompanied with you looking in the person's eyes, expresses authority and confidence. On the other hand, a dead fish shake will set the tone for your meeting. Every man must have a firm handshake. And with experience, you will be able to predict a person's personality and character based on their handshake. Number 5. The ability to storytell. Every man needs to be able to tell a great story. It might be to build trust or likability with a group of people, or even as entertainment with your inner circle. No matter the scenario, it takes a certain amount of skill to tell a story in a way that captivates an audience. The most important aspect of storytelling is simply having the experiences that make the good stories. What stories of your life will you have to tell your children? If you do not have any, start making those memories, take risks, and do not be afraid of the uncomfortable. That's where the best stories come from. Number 6. Throw a knockout punch. You may have heard of the saying, "It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war," and rightly so. A man must learn combat, as it is his duty to protect his family and loved ones. It is a shame to be helpless in a time when you are needed. Sometimes you are placed in a position you did not intend to be in. Always avoid a fight if you can, but if there's no other option, end it as quickly as possible by throwing a knockout blow. Open your opponent up with high jabs and a few fakes. Once he drops his guard, send a powerful straight punch to the face. It is important that you do not prolong a fight in case the circumstances change against your favor. Number 7. Make a logical argument. Logical reasoning has disappeared in the modern day, and internet is to blame. Debating online is nothing more than name-calling contests in which the person yelling loudest wins. However, a debate and argument should be a civilized affair that avoids logical delusion and employs good reasoning. Learning this talent improves your persuasive skills, giving you an advantage in today's environment and helping you to stand out as a true man. As it is the content of your words, not the rage and loudness of your voice, that proves your points and beliefs. Number 8. Reading a book. The best way for a man to understand the world around him is through reading. There are people that have dedicated their entire lives to find the answers that men seek. So instead of wasting all that time to test it yourself, learn from others that already have it written. Remember, a fool only learns from his own mistakes, whereas a wise man also learns from the mistakes of others. So do not limit your knowledge by not reading. And if you decide to begin your reading journey, do not make the mistake of building a shelf of unopened books. Instead of trying to pack in all the knowledge, focus your time on topics that have the most value to you. It is better to read and apply the knowledge of one book than read many without applying any to your life. If you want to keep leveling up in life, don't forget to show some love. Until next time, brothers.